Hello everyone, thanks for joining us for our presentation, Frames of Identity, Reimagining Warby Parker for a New Era. Warby Parker is entering a new phase in its business lifecycle after sunsetting its at-home try-on program. They're looking to grow their presence in physical retail locations. However, this will need a big pivot from their integrated marketing communications. Our team has spent the last couple of months studying consumers on a quantitative and qualitative level across the nation, and we're excited to share our insights with you that will help Warby Parker see the bright side.
Warby Parker was founded in 2010 with the goal of making eyewear more affordable and accessible through a direct-to-consumer model. From the start, the brand differentiated itself by combining design-forward frames with a strong social mission, most notably its Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program. Over time, Warby Parker has evolved beyond just selling frames. The brand now offers prescription glasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and vision services, supported by an omni-channel strategy that blends e-commerce, virtual try-on tools, and growing physical retail footprint. And while Warby Parker holds a relatively small share of the US eyewear market, its strong brand equity, expanding store presence, and focus on clarity and accessibility position itself for continued growth. Right now, Warby Parker's marketing focuses on being everywhere the customer is. The brand uses a mix of e-commerce, physical stores, and digital tools to make shopping easy and seamless. Virtual try-on, the mobile app, and in-store experiences all work together, while the brand keeps a consistent lifestyle-focused look across social media, TV, and retail. That said, there are a few key challenges. Even with strong brand awareness, Warby Parker only holds about 1% of the US eyewear market. The decision to sunset the home try-on program also removes one of the brand's most well-known features, especially as low-cost competitors like Zenni and iBuy Direct continue to grow. This creates a bigger need for Warby Parker to clearly educate consumers about eye care, not just frames, while still maintaining a stylish, approachable brand image. In terms of trends, demand for eyewear is increasing due to more screen time and higher rates of myopia. More broadly, healthcare brands are shifting towards clearer, more educational messaging, and there is a growing interest in smart glasses and wearable technology. Lastly, Warby Parker's target audience is primarily millennials and Gen Z. These consumers are digitally savvy, they care about style and value, and they want affordable products. They expect clarity, convenience, and transparency, which is why a slight shift in marketing is especially important for this brand.
Thanks for those insights, Ariana. Next, we're going to conduct our lens analysis. We're going to look at Warby Parker's strengths, enhance their weaknesses, navigate their opportunities, and safeguard them from threats. So let's take a look at Warby Parker's strengths. Their number one strength would have to be their mission-driven brand. The Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program is the backbone of their brand identity, and many are driven altruistically to engage with the brand for that reason. Next is the affordable and stylish frames. Many people feel that their frames are modern and chic enough, but also accessible and within their price range. And lastly is a growing omni-channel experience, a strength that ranges from at-home try-on tools to actually experiencing fittings in the store with a professional. These are the strengths of Warby Parker. An area that Warby Parker can enhance is the at-home try-on experience. Because it sunset its at-home try-on program this year, Warby Parker can only rely on virtual and digital tools. Those tools must stay at the cutting edge of technology to provide a maximum user experience for those at home. Next is making sure that they have prescription accuracy and address all coding concerns. Warby Parker has room to grow in the area of establishing itself as a credible source of prescription eyewear. And lastly is stock volatility. Over the past couple of years, it has experienced great dips and slight recoveries. However, right now they are still under half of what they were valued at over 5 years ago from their original IPO. Now, to navigate their opportunities, Warby Parker needs to leverage emotional storytelling. They need to create content that places the consumer at the center of the story and Warby Parker as the guide. This will allow the consumer to see themselves completely transformed from one world to another, as Warby Parker is used as that magic elixir on their hero's journey. Next, opportunities for pop-ups, experiential immersion can help strengthen that emotional tie that drew those consumers to Warby Parker in the first place. Lastly, Warby Parker needs to safeguard from threats. Those other threats are their competitors. On one end of the spectrum, we have Zenni Optical and iBuyDirect, online retailers that ship directly to consumers at very low cost. These type of relationships with other consumers can breed mistrust and make others think that Warby Parker quality is subpar compared to other retailers. However, on the other end of the spectrum, Luxottica dominates the luxury eyewear market, with licensing deals with fashion houses from across the world. With Warby Parker's 1% market share, there is room to grow. However, Warby Parker should be mindful of their place in the market and needs to strategically move in order to make that engagement with other consumers.
So, how do we expect to shift the marketing communications for Warby Parker? Introducing the SEEN campaign, which stands for Sustainability, Equity, Education, and Nostalgia. This campaign is designed to help consumers quite literally and emotionally see the bright side. At its core, SEEN positions Warby Parker as more than just an eyewear brand. It empowers people to see more clearly, not only through their glasses, but through optimism, identity, and community. Each of the four pillars plays a role in reinforcing that message. Sustainability, reflecting Warby Parker's longstanding mission. Equity, ensuring representation and access. Education removes confusion around eye care. And nostalgia creates emotional connection and familiarity. This campaign is needed in today's market because consumers want brands that reflect their lived experiences and values, and representation in eyewear marketing is still limited. SEEN responds to that gap by putting real people, real stories, and real clarity at the center of the brand. And this approach works because authentic storytelling builds trust. When consumers see themselves reflected in a brand, it creates relatability, strengthens loyalty, and differentiates Warby Parker in a crowded market. Ultimately, SEEN allows Warby Parker to connect vision care with purpose and invite consumers to truly see the bright side.
Now that we have our big idea, the next step is understanding what we actually need to communicate across the campaign. Our research made this really clear. First, people want eyewear that feels durable, stylish, and reliable. They want something that reflects who they are. Second, the experience has to stay easy. That means keeping that smooth transition between online tools and in-store support. We also learned that Warby Parker's social mission still matters. The Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program helps the brand stand out and adds a deeper emotional connection. And finally, everything in the campaign needs to support identity, confidence, and stress-free vision care. When people feel seen and supported, they're more likely to trust the brand, try the product, and share their experience. For our media strategy, we wanted to meet customers exactly where they already spend their time. That means focusing on three main areas: social media, connected TV, and in-person experiences. Social is really where identity comes to life. So this is where we lean into short-form storytelling, real people trying on frames, and moments that feel authentic and relatable. Connected TV helps us build emotional clarity. It gives us space to tell a bigger story about seeing the bright side and why vision care should feel simple and empowering. And finally, in-store and community activations allow us to bring the message into the real world. Whether someone discovers the campaign online or in person, the tone stays optimistic, modern, and human-centered. Everything feels consistent, no matter where they encounter Warby Parker. For our budget, we based our plan on Warby Parker's typical marketing spend, which ranges from $90 to $100 million each year. From there, we focused on investing the channels that give us the strongest mix of reach, engagement, and real-life connection. We put 45% of the budget into social media because that is where consumers spend most of their time and where identity-driven content performs best. 30% goes to connected TV and streaming, since that is where we can tell the emotional side of the campaign and reach people at scale. The last 25% supports experiential activations, which help people interact with the brand face-to-face and deepen trust. This mix lets us stay consistent across every touch point while still making the biggest impact for the campaign. For the sustainability part of our campaign, we focused on what already makes Warby Parker stand out in space. The brand is carbon neutral, uses recyclable packaging, and invests in manufacturing practices that reduce waste. These efforts are real strength, but what we learned from our research is that consumers do not want sustainability to feel heavy or guilt-driven. They respond better when it feels simple, positive, and built into their everyday experience. That is why in our campaign, sustainability is framed through optimism. Instead of instead of lecturing people about environmental responsibility, we show small moments that make caring for the planet feel easy and accessible. This supports the overall idea of helping people see the bright side in their eyewear, in their choices, and in their world around them.
The next pillar of our campaign is equity through access. This pillar addresses the importance of eliminated barriers to accessing quality vision care. This work will build upon Warby Parker's initial program of the Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program, and it will be executed using a retrofitted ice cream truck that will be called the Vision Clinic Truck that will provide mobile vision services for those in need or in underprivileged areas.
Meet the Vision Clinic Truck, a retrofitted ice cream truck bringing same-day eye exams and frame fittings right to your street. While you find the perfect pair, we give a pair to someone in need, serving neighborhoods.
For the education pillar, our goal is to make Warby Parker the brand that helps you see differently, not just in terms of eyesight, but in how you think about vision care overall. Based on our research, many consumers delay eye exams, not because they don't care, but because they're confused about when to schedule an exam, what signs to look for, and what their options actually mean. So our concept focuses on education through clarity. We use bold, minimalist visuals and short, memorable lines that teach people something small but useful about their vision. Instead of overwhelming consumers with medical jargon, we position education as empowerment, giving people the confidence and a clear reason to take action and to see the bright side. For this execution, we build upon Warby Parker's existing mobile app and evolve it into what we call a Clarity Companion, a tool that helps people make confident eye care decisions without feeling overwhelmed. Our research shows that confusion, not neglect, is one of the biggest barriers to scheduling eye exams, so this experience is designed to remove that friction. At the center of the app experience is a new in-app feature called Do I Need an Eye Exam? It's a short interactive quiz that asks simple everyday questions, like whether you've been squinting more, experiencing screen-related headaches, or how long it's been since your last eye exam. The interface is intentionally minimalist, using clear language and friendly visuals so it feels approachable rather than medical. Once users complete that quiz, they receive a clear takeaway. It might be time for an eye exam, along with a one-tap path to book an appointment. Beyond the quiz, an education tab breaks down lens types and prescriptions in plain language, helping users better understand their options. Overall, this execution turns confusion into confidence by connecting education directly to action, reinforcing Warby Parker's role as a trusted guide in vision care and supporting the broader See the Bright Side campaign.
You don't ignore your phone when it stops working. So why ignore your eyes? If things aren't clear anymore, it might be time. See the bright side.
Nostalgia is a uniquely powerful tool for connecting with millennials and Gen X generations who grew up with iconic cartoon characters whose identities were shaped by their glasses. Characters like Velma, Chucky Finster, and Daria each reflect strong personality archetypes. Rather than using direct likenesses, the campaign incorporates subtle cues, silhouettes, color palettes, character-inspired personality traits, and tone. Through the creation of a sub-theme to the overall theme of See the Bright Side, a sense of cohesion is created across messaging, visuals, and product storytelling. This sub-theme reinforces the idea that eyewear contributes to who we become, even as kids. The result is a narrative that elevates frames beyond utility and instead links them to personal evolution and individuality. Next, we display two short-form content visuals designed to emphasize our campaign's message via platforms such as Instagram and TikTok.
The glasses we grew up with, shapes we traced on lunchboxes and Saturday mornings, made more than a look. They made characters. And today, the right frames still do. Warby Parker.
To wrap up, our evaluation is rooted in what consumers clearly told us. They respond best to authentic, relatable storytelling. Our campaign responds directly to these insights by centering clarity, confidence, identity, and community. Through authentic, education-driven storytelling, Warby Parker is well-positioned to strengthen loyalty, reach new audiences, and reinforce its role as a modern, mission-driven eyewear brand. Thank you so much.